Now, during the week, you were embroiled in some controversy NABBA.
Oh, yes, something came up again the other day, didn't it, that Graham put up something talking about, it was yesterday or the day before on Facebook, Graham put up something talking about the NABBA WFF Southern Hemisphere, and we had to go on and say, no, it's not the NABBA WFF Hemisphere, because Graham has no rights to use NABBA, so it has nothing to do with NABBA whatsoever. NABBA has kicked Graham out of his position. He does not own the position. NABBA, originally started in England and that sort of thing. You can't go into it too because there's just so much shit, but if you see anything that says NABBA WFF, it is not NABBA. You can't go to the universe or the worlds or anything. He's just pushing his WFF using the NABBA name. So.
Yeah, and for the overseas viewers or people not 100% familiar with the NABBA environment.
NABBA was like the original, the Mr. Universe, where all the greats started, Reg Park, Arnold, everyone came through NABBA before the IFBB. And
at the moment, you are currently the president of NABBA Australia.
And the president.
So what's going to happen there? Like, how long will you hold this position?
Well, I'm only doing it, just to get it up and running again, using my name to get it back out there, and we're going to put on a couple of shows, maybe second half of the year, and that have state shows, and then we're going to run our state show around October-ish with the state and nationals together, so the other states will have theirs set up a week or two before. Then after the nationals, we're planning on at least, because Graham hasn't sent people to the universe for a long time, and only small numbers, so we're planning on at least sending a team of 15 or so to the Mr. Universe in England at the end of the year.
Awesome. Yeah, I think, isn't it a shame for bodybuilding how it's at the mercy of all these organisations and whoever's running them, and if they're pushing their own agenda, then...
And that's the thing, because, Graham was NABBA, but then WFF come along and that's his baby, that's where he makes the money from. So even like when I had the Lee Priest Classic, which was meant to be earlier this year, like in May, he wanted it to be NABBA, WFF combined, and I didn't want anything to do with the WFF. And he's like, well, Lee will give out 6 pro cards in the WFF. Of course, if he gives out 6 pro cards in the WFF, he gets money from that. So it's like, whatever money comes from WFF, he keeps because that's his, but he was using NABBA to piggyback off it, which, okay, if that's what you did in the beginning, it's been going for a few years now. Yeah. The WFF is established. Why hang on to NABBA? You don't care about it anymore. You don't send teams with NABBA. All you're worried about is WFF, so let NABBA go. But, he had to carry on like a goose, and we got a lawyer. We sent letters to the thing, and he said, contact his lawyers, and our lawyers did try to, and the lawyer company he gave us dissolved 2 years ago, and the new lawyer company has never heard of him and never represented him, so that backfired. Our lawyer gave him 2 weeks to reply and they never did, and his firm that he said doesn't exist, and then the new firm never heard of him, so we called his bluff. And
look, I don't know, I'm not in on the politics, but I do know that politics has played a big part in nearly all organisations.
Bodybuilding's bodybuilding. It's like people that love to train and love to compete want to do it because they love it. They love the sport. It's fun. They can do it with their friends. A family can come watch, and that's how it should be. It should be about the athletes. It shouldn't be about promoters and what they can make out of it and the money they can make. Sure, you might like to make a little bit of money, but if you don't, just put on a good show for the athletes and stuff. That's what it's all about. So if you're getting into it to make money, then you're getting into it for the wrong reasons, if that sort of thing. So
yeah, look, that's where I think it gets all
convoluted.
Well,
there's a good word.
Wow.
Thank you.
I think and it happens in all sports. I'm not just saying bodybuilding. There's a similar thing going on with powerlifting. Yeah. And these little organisations can become little cash cows for people. And
then if you're in the know, it's very cliquey in the know.
And one thing, well, Linus got barred from Powerlifting Australia because he was in a position.
You told him you know me.
No. Well, look, listen to this. Like the world championships, the international powerlifting championships were in Finland. Linus hadn't been home for how long to Lithuania?
3 years or 4 years, yeah.
3 years. So what a great way to go home. You could go to Finland, compete, while you're there, see the family. But at the time, Powerlifting Australia wasn't affiliated with the International Powerlifting Federation. That was Australia Powerlifting Union. So the only way Linus could go there, and the real key to it all was it was your last year as a junior because he was turning 23. So the only way he could compete in that World Championship was if he was with the Australian Powerlifting Union. So he competed, and then he got a letter from Powerlifting Australia saying he was banned. And I just think,
like,
you know,
why?
It's
like with me at the bodybuilding, you get banned. It's like, if you love doing something, and like, I'm not sure with powerlifting, do you have to pay to be a member, or
Yeah.
So, like I said, you're paying to be a member. They're not paying you. I can understand if they say, "Hey, Linus, we pay you this much to be with us. You can't go anywhere else." But like if you're working for a company, you couldn't go off and work for somebody else if this company's paying you a contract or something. But I know with bodybuilding, it always said we're independent contractors. You know, I paid for my pro card. It's like, okay, well, I'll compete in your show, but March, April, May, you don't have any shows on, but NABBA does. So if I got an opportunity to make money here while you haven't got nothing on, why can't I go do it? It's not affecting you. You're not losing any money because you don't have a show on, and my name's getting out there more. People are seeing the sport more, and it's just pathetic.
No, well, that's where I think how the sport grows. Like, as in, you know, you've got competition that Powerlifting Australia wants to get back the rights. Fair enough, they can compete for them. They put on the shows, and if they get, you know, put on a really good thing, and more athletes
and that's
come
what I've always
to them.
said too. There shouldn't be any of this politics, because it's like athletes like to be treated well in any sport, and if you put on a good show and treat them well, they're going to compete with you. But if you threaten them and say, if you go here, you go there, they're going to be like, well, fuck you. But it's like, if you put on a great show, they're going to come compete with you. And if someone else does it and their show's not as good, they're like, well, their show wasn't run, we'll stick with these people. But if there is, and they both run well, that's great, isn't it? You could have the champion from this organisation come compete with you and just have like this inner-house rivalry type thing going back and forth. Why not? But
I just think it's ridiculous. Like, why should a bodybuilder be, why should you be an IFBB or a NABBA? Like, you're just a bodybuilder.
Exactly. It's the same as like in Australia when the amateurs, you know, and Paul Graham would tell, I got to the point where amateur IFBB guys here in Australia say, I'm competing in IFBB, you compete in NABBA. You're my training partner and you're competing in NABBA. If I was seen at a NABBA show watching you, I'd get suspended. So I was like, how fucking dumb is that? I can't go support you? It's like, no, you can't be seen at a show. I was like, why not? If you love the sport, it's just ridiculous. It's like,
well, I think that...
you like Formula 1, well, I better not see you at the Supercar Championships. So, you know, it's like...
No, that's when you know that they don't have the best interests of the sport at heart. Like, don't you want to have, whether it's NABBA or IFBB or whichever federation, you want to pack the house and more people go there. Doesn't matter who they're affiliated with.
Exactly. Well, this is where I used to get mad at the athletes with bodybuilding, because I'm like, without us, they don't have anything. So why don't we stand together? We all said, listen, if you don't have a show, if they had a show on the same weekend, then okay, that's just stupid anyway. But if you, like, say I dieted down for an IFBB show this weekend, like the Arnold Classic's on, so I'm in great shape. We got 2 weeks after the Arnold. There's no IFBB shows for another 3 months, but I'm in shape. Why couldn't I go do this NABBA show now?
Exactly.
I've already done your show. My fans have come to your show. They've spent money at your show, so you've made money. You don't have another show in 2 weeks' time, but NABBA does. And if I've got another opportunity to make money doing what I do, I'm an independent contractor, why can't I go compete there? That's like, you don't own me. You're not like, you have to be like anywhere. They give you an opportunity to make money. They're not paying me to do the show. They're not paying me to be a part of them. I'm actually paying the money to be a part with them. So.
And how good would it be? Like, you know, you might get picked at the first show. And you know, I like watching the UFC, how, you know, at the end of the fight, it's all staged, you know, they put the mic, who are you going to call out or whatever. Like, imagine, you know, you get third spot, and then you go, I reckon I was way better than number one, you know.
I'll see you in 2 weeks at the NABBA show.
I'm going to smoke you, you know, like, we'll get some...
exactly, and it's like, but I just don't get the whole, I don't know, it's just... stupid. Especially, like I said, even in the amateurs, it's like, because people who are in amateurs, like, you diet so hard, and the diet down for one show takes a lot. So if there's a couple of shows you can do, why not be able to do them all? If you're in great shape, and it's even amateurs too, some of them don't even want to turn pro, they're doing it for fun. They love to compete, they love to get on stage and just have fun. So I don't understand the whole... I never will. It's like I said, you're an independent contractor, it'll be like you paying a plumber to come to your house to fix your pipes, and when he's finished, I'm going to go see your neighbour. You fucking better not go do my neighbour's pipes. You're contracted to do my pipes, not his. It's like, that's dumb. You only ever come to my house, never anyone else's.
And imagine you got all the pool to choose from as far as competition. So therefore, you're not getting, like a lot of these shows, some of them shouldn't really be competing, but because they're struggling to get competitors.
I know, and the thing is too, sometimes there could be shows where it's either season A or season B. And sometimes people don't want to diet through Christmas to get ready for season A, and then season B could have something on. So if there's shows running throughout the year where, okay, you know what, I'm going to have a great Christmas, but there's a show mid-year, June, July, I'll do a show then. Because normally shows are February, March, maybe one in May, and then if nothing else to the end of the year, September, October, whatever. So you got season A or season B, and it's the same for some of the pro shows. It's either the beginning of the year or the end of the year. And then it's like some of the guys now who did the Olympia aren't doing the Arnold because, you put your body through hell to get ready for the Olympia. If it's September, October, and you take an order, drugs, and you pushed your body to the limit October, you've only got November, December, and the Arnold's beginning of March, you've got to start dieting December again. You haven't even had time to let your body rest and heal and come off the gear. So if you had more shows spread out, you go, you know what, I just did the Olympia, I'm going to take 3-4 months off, and I'll do a show in June. So, but trying to get people in shape back to back, yes, you can do it, but then health reasons, like I said, some of the stuff they're doing now to their bodies, it's just not healthy to keep staying on the drugs all year round. And even training wise, just pounding your body all that time, you need a little bit of a downtime. So that's why a lot of guys won't do so many shows back to back now. But if they'll spread out more, no matter what organisation it is,